Cheers, everyone. How you doing? It is Friday, November 11th. It is Veterans Day. I'm not a veteran, but I have many friends who are veterans. I salute all veterans every day. I constantly hope and pray that someday all veterans will be taken care of like they're promised they would be when they sign up to give their lives, or to offer their lives in service to this country. It goes without saying that many veterans do not receive justice or fair treatment by the government that expects them to die. Well, it's just been quite the week, and of course I'm going to speak on the death of Leonard Cohen. I have his first solo album, but it's in my closet of overstock. I live in a small house, which I'm outgrown. My collection is outgrown, and so I have thousands of records in the closets besides what you see in the walls. I do have Leonard Cohen's debut album with Suzanne. I have always respected and recognized his greatness and contribution to song and poetry. Being that I've always been more focused on the music than the words is why I'm not more of a dedicated Leonard Cohen fan. But I recognize his greatness, and I will say it in the present tense even though he is now gone, I love his voice. What a voice. And the journey that he shared with us, becoming a monk, going through the travesties of the different relationships and of love and love lost before that, the tragic ordeal he went through with management that just ripped him off cold. So I will talk a little bit about music. You can't really hear it in the background because let me put on another track here, but I'm listening to a digital release by another musician that I sort of know, but really like, and need to get in touch with. He said, get in touch. I'm just, I just don't do it. It takes me sometimes years to call someone. But Jeff Klukowski, Alpha Stare, who is with Andalusia Rose. This is one of his releases I'm playing in the background. Really like his work. I'll talk more about music in a second, but I want to follow up on my last video because as respectful and as clear as I am in my thoughts, I had to delete over a dozen negative, hateful, and some very racist and ignorant comments. They happened overnight for me, so people in Europe, before when I woke up and read them, and just judged, well, yeah, this is garbage, so I'm deleting it, But some of my European watchers got to read the comments, and they gave me feedback and support on Facebook. And I am the target of hate people. I am the target of people who just really want to tear me down. It's got to be partially racist. It's definitely ignorant and wrong. But I want to tell you why they won't succeed, mainly because they're basing it on a falsity. The idea that that I couldn't be the genuine person that I am, just running on false fumes and bullshit. And I want to address it because it never ends, and being the sort of person that I am, I don't stand for this. If these people were actually in my life here in Omaha, this would be settled, because people that actually know me don't get away with acting like ignorant fools around me. And these people use the internet, like a lot of other sad, sorry, and lost souls. They get on here and they spew their unhappiness and lack of education and lack of a lot of things. They just spew it at everybody else here and just really, gum things up. But I want to tell you one of the reasons why these people and their tactics are not going to be successful. Years ago, when I first got my first experience with trolls, I did what trolling does make you do when you're not ready for it. I exploded. I've learned. And that won't happen again because I see clearly what's going on. I want to share a little bit. I read as well as listen to music. And a book that's been very helpful to me for a long time now, I loaned my main copy out to someone, but is The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. This is the companion workbook, okay? And it's not that this man is, the writer is not the focus. It's the words. It's what he lays out, how he words it that has been so helpful to me. I want to share it. You can tune out right now if you don't want to learn anything. The Four Agreements is based on the idea of using the Four Agreements to improve your life, to clear up a lot of misconceptions and bullshit. And I'll tell you what, learning these Four Agreements and trying to live by them has changed my life. So I always like to share. That's why the main book I don't have. I shared it recently with a member of the band Chemicals. But here are the Four Agreements, and this is why I see through you people that want to hurt me or who want to hurt anybody. I see through your sickness. Because the first thing it says, if you want to improve your life, is to, number one, be impeccable with your word. This is very hard to do. I'm going to read what it says. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. See, I got them right there, They're gossiping about me. They don't know what they're talking about. They think they do. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. I attempt to do that as much as possible. Of course, I'm human, and so I fail, but I try. And you people that constantly come here with hitting, no matter how, as quick as you can see that I have made a video, you hit the dislike button. That is not an action in the direction of truth and love. It's not impeccable. It's low down, aiming your shit gun at me. Shame on you. I'm smiling because I love you. Number two, this one is really hard, and some people just don't want to hear this, but I'm telling you, this really makes sense. The second agreement that we can make that will help improve our lives is to don't take anything personal. Some people are just like, have I lost you already? Hold on, listen. Don't take anything personally. Here's why. Because nothing others do is because of you. This is so true. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. And this has really helped me because, like I said, and as a black man, I get it to every day because of what people are thinking in their heads and projecting it at me. This is partially why people have been fooled by the Trumpy, Is that disrespectful to speak of him in that way? You can interpret it that way, but from my point of view, when I do that, I'm expressing justified frustration and anger. And it's a human thing, and you shouldn't call names. But believe me, understand. I'm trying to make a point here, not trying to put the man down personally, but this man is a destroyer of lives as opposed to someone who is going to bring hope to the common man. And so I just express it like that when I go chump. Of course, I love him as a human being, but as an elite, silver-spooned businessman, he's caused a lot of pain for a lot of people who didn't deserve it and still don't. And there's more to come. The third agreement of the four that I try to follow, which has really helped me, that's why I'm trying to share it with you. Watch this over. If any of this makes sense, but it's hard to understand, rewind it or get the book. The third agreement is don't make assumptions. And this is the main reason why these people can't get to me, because they are making assumptions about something that happened. And they don't have all the information, but they insist they do, and so they keep coming at me. And it's bullshit. But don't make assumptions. If you need to know something, find the courage to ask questions and express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. And I have done this and continue to do this. Rather than see something happen and go 1 and 1 equals 3 without having complete information, I get into information. There's that old saying, when you assume something, you make an ass out of you and me. You break down the way you spell the word, and it's just true. So much of political and military movement is based on assumptions and paranoia. And look at the mess that we cannot clean up as a result, both politically and militarily. So, if you want to do better, you want to feel better, don't assume that you know what people are thinking or what's happening. Find out. And the last of the four agreements, which just really kind of puts everything in proper perspective, just always do your best. And check this out. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstance, simply do your best, and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. And we all suffer from those states. Many of us are paralyzed by those states of mind. So I just want to share that. Folks are going to continue to bother me and try to hurt me, but I'm calling you out. You have no honorable purpose in mind, and it's just an indication that there's work that needs to be done on your own self, which you're apparently refusing to do. A lot of people who are clueless to these nuggets of wisdom are a big part of why we're at where we're at right now with the incoming president, who has openly shown his ignorance and bigotry and hate. And people just want to swallow his pipe dream, none based on reality. Folks need to wake up. It's just my opinion, but sure makes sense to me. Yeah, that's really what I want to say. I know that you guys want me to talk about music, but you know, this is kind of an interesting time in history, isn't it? And if I weren't dark-skinned and black, it would be real easy for me to just brush it off and go on about my business. But I am not. I do not have the luxury of the unspoken, the silent white privilege that continues in this world. So I have to fight for dignity, and I have to continue speaking out, trying to encourage others to raise the bar in their own lives and the lives of people around you. Raise the bar. Try to recognize that one of the reasons why you aim negativity and harm to others is because you don't like yourself. You don't love yourself. You're out of touch with yourself. You're not going to do those things when your heart is filled with kindness and love. You won't. We've got a lot of work to do, folks. We've always had work to do. But if we're going to get anywhere in these next 4 years with this monster, and I'm just saying it, the man is monstrous to me. We have got to do better personally. A couple of things I did play. Archie Shepp, Poem for Malcolm, The Time Was Right. I'm not a big jazz listener like a lot of people because of stereotyping. Just assume that I'm going to be a big jazz bull. Well, I love jazz, but you see what I show all the time because that's where my head is at. I'm a rainbow warrior. I'm a psychedelic man, And so that's mainly what I listen to. And when I'm in the mood, I put on jazz. And I was in the mood last night, and Archie Shepp just hit the spot. This album is a lot of improvisation, but it's beautiful. That's why I say you gotta, when the time is right, this is beautiful, not in the beautiful way like a sonata, but in what he is expressing. It's wild, and at times jagged, but it's beautiful. Another album that I put on with the idea, just because it's life-affirming, comforting, and the man is speaking with heart, was Bill Fay, Life is People. This is such a wonderful, humane album. The words and the music. The music matches the words. It's full of love and compassion and care about human beings. What a wonderful man. What wonderful songs. Bill Fay, just fantastic. Pat Metheny, Letter from Home. I don't play much Pat Metheny, but his music is soothing and beautiful. And this just hit the spot yesterday. Just fantastic, Pat Metheny. Pat Metheny. I'll show this again. This is definitely one of my albums of the year. Blameful Isles. Strange but not entirely unattractive. There's just a lot about this that works. And there's a lot of the Canterbury soft machine going on with the way they put this together. Just fantastic. I think I could just show so much stuff, but one more thing I'll show is this, is I've been playing a lot of these two groups, because their music and their words and what they were about really resonate with me. Gong and the Planet Gong, and David and Alan and Jilly Smith. My two brothers and sisters who have left us like the other greats. It did cross my mind that who got elected for president was just enough for Leonard Cohen to say, okay, I'm done. And he said it in recent interviews, I'm ready to die. I'm not afraid. I've lived a good, long life. And that could have been to say, oh, okay, I'm checking out now. See ya, I know what's coming. I know what a mess this is going to be. Look at it already. But Gong really resonates with me. I've played all these several times. The message of this, besides the humor, you go past the humor and listen to what they're saying. It's deep. It's the same thing. It's the same wisdom as in this book. It's the same wisdom that's in all philosophies and religions when you strip away the dogma, the fundamental truths that they're trying to pass along. It's all the same. And this music is fantastic. And Angel's Egg 2. I had posted on Instagram the picture of the inside cover because it's just beautiful. Planet Gong, Where I'd Rather Be. right about now than America. And the other band, even though they were just humans and they weren't the avatars of values that I thought they were as a child, the songs and what they say in them, the message is still intact. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Deja Vu, Teach Your Children. Oh my goodness, you know what I'm saying? All of this whole album, the way it starts, we have all been here before. That refrain, Our House. What a fantastic album. I've played this several times. I love this band. I got to see them live in the 70s. Yeah, I got to see Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young live in Houston back in the 70s. It was one of the best concert experiences of my life. The best part of the concert was when Neil Young came out and played solo. He blew everyone away. And the Beach Boys and Jesse Colin Young were also on the ticket. Neil Young solo blew everyone away. He was so intense, so real, so naked. And so I've been playing Four-Way Street as well. This is my music. Ignorance and hatred and self-doubt are the main reasons that keep prejudice and the illusion of separateness alive. We're one race, the human race, with many variations. Open your heart so that your eyes can be opened, and we can all benefit from that.